You have spent years trying to become better. You have read the books, followed the programs, chased the ideal version of yourself that always seems one step ahead. And yet, despite all your effort, you feel incomplete. The Taoists have a radical message for you. You are not broken. You never were. The very act of trying to fix yourself is what creates the wound. This is not a call to give up growth. This is an invitation to understand the difference between natural unfolding and the violence of forced transformation. What if the exhaustion you feel is not a sign that you need to try harder, but a sign that you are trying in the wrong direction? What if sufficiency is not something you achieve, but something you already are? Today, we explore the Taoist reason why you must not fix yourself. Not because change is wrong, but because the premise of brokenness is false. Let us walk this path together. We live in an age obsessed with self-optimization. Every corner of the internet sells a better version of you. Productivity hacks, morning routines, mindset shifts, biohacking protocols. The message is clear. You are not enough as you are. You must upgrade, level up, transform. The modern world has turned selfhood into a project that is never complete. Taoism offers a counter-vision through the concept of Pu, the uncarved block. Pu represents your original nature before society carved expectations into you, before you learned to see yourself as a problem needing solutions. The uncarved block is not formless or weak. It is full of potential precisely because it has not been forced into a shape that does not fit. When you operate from the belief that you must fix yourself, you accept a false premise, that you are fundamentally broken. This premise is toxic because it positions your present self as inadequate. Every action becomes a rejection of who you are now in favor of who you think you should be. This is not growth. This is war against yourself. True growth is natural. It happens the way a tree grows, without force or self-judgment. A tree does not strain to become taller. It simply unfolds according to its nature. Fixing, on the other hand, is forced. It operates from lack, from the belief that something essential is missing. Growth expands from what is already present. Fixing tries to replace what is with something else entirely. There is an ancient parable, shared across Japanese and Taoist traditions, about a stonecutter. Each day, he would chip away at massive rocks under the burning sun, his body aching, his hands blistered. He looked at the wealthy merchant passing by in fine robes and thought, "I wish I were rich and powerful like him." Suddenly, his wish was granted. He became the merchant. But soon, he felt the scorching heat of the sun beating down on him during his travels. He thought, "The sun is more powerful than me. I wish I were the sun." He became the sun, burning bright and mighty in the sky. But then, clouds rolled in, blocking his light. He realized, "The clouds are more powerful than me. I wish I were a cloud." He became the cloud, vast and commanding. But the wind blew him across the sky, scattering him wherever it pleased. He thought, "The wind is more powerful than me. I wish I were the wind." He became the wind, howling across the land. But when he tried to move a great mountain, it stood unmoved. He thought, "The mountain is more powerful than me. I wish I were the mountain." He became the mountain, solid and eternal. But then he felt a sharp pain. At the base of the mountain, a stonecutter was chipping away at the rock. He realized, "The stonecutter is more powerful than me." And so he became the stonecutter again, the very thing he had been from the beginning. The journey taught him what he had failed to see. He was already sufficient. The problem was not his station in life. The problem was his refusal to inhabit it fully. This is Wei Applied to psychology. Wei, often translated as effortless action, is not about doing nothing. It is about not forcing. The stonecutter exhausted himself chasing power outside himself. When he returned to his original nature, he found peace. You do not need to become something else. You need to stop fighting what you already are. The exhaustion you feel is not a character flaw. It is feedback. The ego believes that if it just tries harder, pushes longer, optimizes more, then sufficiency will arrive. But trying harder from a place of insufficiency only deepens the wound. It is like digging a hole to find solid ground. The more you dig, the deeper the hole becomes. Self-acceptance is not resignation. It is the foundation of true power. When you accept yourself as you are, you stop wasting energy on the war between your actual self and your ideal self. That energy becomes available for genuine growth. Acceptance is not the end of transformation. It is the beginning of natural transformation, the kind that does not exhaust you. Consider the natural law. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The river does not force its way to the ocean. It flows according to the shape of the land, and in doing so, it carves canyons. The seed does not strain to become a tree. It unfolds according to its internal blueprint. There is no urgency, no self-judgment, no comparison to other seeds. And yet, the forest emerges. You have been holding an image of who you should be. This image is a tyrant. It stands over your present self and says, "You are not good enough until you look like me." But that image is not you. It is a construct, a fantasy built from cultural expectations, childhood wounds, and aspirational marketing. The more you serve that image, the further you drift from your actual nature. Releasing the image does not mean abandoning vision. It means letting go of the belief that you are inadequate until the vision is realized. You can move towards something without rejecting where you are. This is the paradox of Taoist growth. You arrive by stopping the chase. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it is also the thief of presence. Every moment you spend measuring yourself against another person is a moment you abandon your own path. The Taoist does not look sideways. There is no race to win, no hierarchy to climb. There is only your nature and the unfolding of it. This brings us to the concept of Ziran, often translated as self-so-ness or spontaneous naturalness. Ziran is your authentic being when it is not distorted by external pressures. It is not something you create. It is something you uncover by removing the layers of should that have been piled on top of you. Authenticity is not a performance. It is what remains when you stop performing. So how do you observe your flaws without judgment? First, understand that observation and judgment are not the same. Observation is neutral. It simply sees what is. Judgment adds a story. This is bad. This must be fixed. This makes me unworthy. You can notice a pattern without condemning yourself for it. You can see a limitation without making it your identity. When a flaw arises, pause. Name it without drama. I notice I am avoiding this task. I notice I am reacting with anger. I notice I am comparing myself again. This is observation. Then, instead of launching into a fixing protocol, ask, what is this pattern protecting? What need is it trying to meet? Flaws are not enemies. They are strategies your psyche developed to survive. They may be outdated, but they were never malicious. From this place of curiosity, natural adjustment becomes possible. You do not force change. You create space for it. You water the seeds of the behaviors you want to cultivate, and you stop feeding the ones that no longer serve. This is effortless effort. This is Wu Wei in daily life. The modern philosopher Alan Watts spoke of embracing the quaking mess of being human. He did not mean wallowing in dysfunction. He meant accepting that you are not a polished machine. You are a living, breathing process. You will contradict yourself. You will fail. You will forget what you know. And none of that makes you broken. You are already complete. Not in the sense that you will never grow or change, but in the sense that your worth is not conditional on improvement. A wave is complete even as it rises and falls. A season is complete even as it transitions. Completeness does not mean static perfection. It means wholeness in motion. Bring this understanding into your daily life. When the voice of should arises, notice it. When comparison whispers that you are behind, pause. When the urge to fix yourself surges, ask, am I trying to grow naturally? Or am I rejecting what I am? The difference is subtle but profound. If this way of seeing the world resonates with you, this channel was built for you. The path of the Taoist is not about becoming someone else. It is about inhabiting yourself so fully that the question of sufficiency dissolves. You stop asking, "Am I enough?" You start living as if the question never needed an answer.